Hello.
Hello.
Hello, yes, good evening.
Yeah, I'm trying to record the class. So where after installing the Anaconda, just go to your search bar. There you type Anaconda, just type Anaconda.
Mhm.
You can see this navigator, Anaconda navigator. The one right here. Can we see this? Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, we
No.
can see.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Oh, you all saw the Anaconda navigator.
yeah.
So when you click
Yes, sir.
when you click on it, you are going to see something like this. Something like an interface like this. This is the Anaconda. There are a lot of other things in it. We have Qt console, we have Spider, we have VS Code, we have Bluefish, we have Notebook, we have Jupyter Lab, and we have this console shortcuts. This is the only thing we need. The Jupyter Notebook, this is the only thing we need. Then you click on this to launch it. I have it launched already, so I'm going to close the whole of this Anaconda. It takes time before this one, but like it takes time before you open this. So the best way is to once you launch it, the first time, close the Anaconda and pin the Jupyter Notebook to your taskbar. I have it pinned to my taskbar already. This is the Jupyter Notebook on my taskbar. So I'm going to open it from here. Hello. Okay. I was trying to launch my Jupyter Notebook. When you launch it for the first time, you are going to see something like this. It's actually going to take you to the root directory. We talked about this yesterday. Why is my system slowing down? When you launch it for can you hear me now?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes. Yes,
So
we can hear you.
you go to the file you've created on your desktop. You can create a folder, name it Python class or whatever you like. Then from here you click on your desktop. You click on your desktop. Then you navigate to where you have it saved. You navigate to the folder. So I click on my desktop now. Then I have my own working file. I have it here. Then from here, this is Python for data science and analytic class. So we discussed this yesterday, the outline of the program. We want to talk about the Jupyter interface. So I'm going to be creating a new file. I click on new from this side. Then Python 3. It will create a new Python file for me. Why now? Oh, it's opened all over again. I'm sorry. So this is how the interface look like. It is still loading. This is the first bar we have here is the title bar, where we have the title of your file. Then after that, we have the menu bar. We have the file menu, the edit menu, the view menu, insert menu, the cell, the kernel, the widget, and the help. Then when you want to create a new file, just come to the file menu. In the file menu, there are a lot of options. You can create a new notebook, exactly like the one we are working on. Then you can open, let's see what is unopened. Then you can open a new window. Instead of having this, we have a new window. Then you can make a copy of this particular one. Let me name this one, day 2. Just write the name, then click rename, or you press enter. The file already exists, so I need to name it something. Let me name it Python day 22. So I have it now. If I click on the copy, I will have another copy of it. Then save. I can save it as PDF or some other thing. I can this save to it's saving automatically actually. Then rename. I can change the name. This save and checkpoint is just like you save when you work to an extent. So where you restore maybe to the last 7 days or something. That's the function of the save and checkpoint. Then revert to checkpoints. Maybe one of the fashions you've worked on, then you now made a mistake. You get back to the previous fashion. Then we have print view, it's just like printing the page. Then we have download. You can download your notebook in various formats. We have the HTML, we have the window. You can download it as a markdown file. Then .python, you can download it as a Python file. You can download it as an Excel file, spreadsheet. Then this one is to when you are done working, this one is just like terminate. You close and alt, it will close automatically when you click on this. Then we have the edit menu. Edit menu works when you start working on each of these is known as cell. See, just like the cell we have in our body. So you can copy cell, you can delete, you can split, you can merge. This is one now. If I have 3 cells now, I can merge these 3 together. The three have been selected. I just come here, click on merge cell above, merge cell below. You see, the last two has been combined together as one. That's the function of the merge. Then I can move this up. The one down, I can move it up with this move up. This I merged it with the previous one. There's an option for redo, undo, redo as well. Then we have the view. View, I can decide that I don't want this title bar to be there. I just come here. The header, this is the title bar. I close it, it's gone. Then the toolbar, I don't want to close that, so I return my title bar. Then there are a lot of other things I can do. The insert, if I want to insert cell, it will ask me, am I inserting it above this current one or below? If I choose below, it will be added. Let me click on this, then I choose insert below. You can see a new cell here below it. Then if it is above, it will be inserted above it. This is, then we have the cell you are dealing with. To run the cell is just like you run any program you write. If I click run, this cell will run. Then I can run all, like running everything from the beginning to the end. I can run the above, run all above. That means everything above the selected one. Run all below, that means everything below the selected one. Then the kernel, you can, maybe when you enter a for loop, you want to stop, you can interrupt your kernel, you can restart, you can shut down, and there are a lot of other things to you. There's an app too where we get to see shortcut and some other things there. So the plan for today is to talk about, we've talked about the installation and the environment, the libraries and packages. Then we are talking about Python syntax. Syntax is just how the code is written in Python. For example, are we still following, please?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
we are.
Yeah.
Syntax is just how we write code. How we write code in Python. There are some rules guided in the Python about this. One of the most common thing in every programming language is to type hello world, to print hello world. And I've said yesterday, Python is an high-level machine, high-level language. Like the language is very close to human language. So you can just like in the normal way we write, print hello. This is writing our first program. I haven't talked about this bar. This one is safe. It saves, if you click on it, it's safe and checkpoint. But normally it saves automatically actually. So this plus 2 is there to insert cell, then cut to cut, then this copy and paste. Then this one is to move the cell up, this one to move it down, then this one run, this one to stop it, then this one to refresh. Then this particular one I selected is code. I can change it to Markdown. Markdown is just like I'm writing text instead of code. That's it. That's Markdown. And there's difference between clicking inside and outside of a cell. If I click on inside, this one is green, it means I'm inside of it. If I click outside, it turns to blue. So to write the first code, just click inside, then you print your hello world. Writing my first program. This, what I just did now is Markdown. It's Markdown. It's not code. It's like text. I want to give my notebook an heading. That's it. That's my first program. Then this program prints hello world. This is how we write comments in Python. A single line comment. It starts with hash. This program prints hello world. Then I write the program. Python is a case-sensitive programming language, meaning that capital P is different from small p. This P is different from the previous one I wrote, this P. So it's case-sensitive. Then when we are dealing with printing anything, when we are dealing with string, we need to put it in quotation. It can be single quotes or double quotes. This particular one is double quotes. Hello world. And you see the output below. We cannot see that, right?
Yes.
That's how to write. That's Python syntax. How to write Python code. It's very simple and straightforward. So the next thing we'll be talking about is talking about variable type. Variable, what's a variable? Variable is like, it's an object of, it's a data type that you can give any value. Variable, just like a variable name is like a container that stores our variable. Like for example, 2 is a variable, 3 is a variable, 4 is a variable, cat is a variable. This is a markdown. Cat is a variable. 2.9 is a variable. So those are variables in Python, or data of type, data of different types, they are variable. Then we talk about variable name. Variable name is just like a container that stores our variable. For example, I say my score equals to 20. This is my variable is 20, where my variable name is my score. I store this 20 inside this container, my score. It's holding it for me. Anytime I need 20, instead of me typing 20, I will just ask for my score. My score is 20. Then I want to see what my score is. I have my 20 here. So there are some rules that govern naming of variable. The first one, you shouldn't start with number. One score equals to 34. Invalid type. Invalid, that means I cannot start my variable name with 1. I can start with letters, I can start with underscore. Those are some of the rules governing naming of variable in Python. I can start with underscore score. I have it. Then I can use title case score equals to 34. And this score is different from this score.
Excuse me.
Both of them are different. This one starts with small case, this one starts with uppercase. So Python is a case sensitive programming language. The two of them are different. So we are now have different data. We have different data type in Python.
Excuse me.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm trying to also input the code on my Jupyter platform, but my score equal to 20. I tried to run it. It's not running on my laptop.
Just follow along and get back to that later.
Okay.
Just try to follow. So to make things easy, there are a lot of shortcuts we can make use of. Instead of coming here to click on cell, to add cell, to cut, to paste, there are a lot of shortcuts. For example, I want to convert this, as you can see, this one is in code. I want to convert it to markdown. I want it to be in text, not code. I just press M on my system. It changes automatically. If I want to change it back to code, I press C. Then it changes to code. Y, it changes to code. So what I need now is data type in Python. We have 4 different data types in Python. We have the integer, we have the float data type, we have string, and we have Boolean. Integer and float, these two, they are numerical data type, numerical that they contain numbers. The difference between int and float is int is just whole number, like 20, 25, 26. Float is any number that has decimal points. For example, 20.0 is a float. 1.2 is a float. It's a float data type. If you say 2, that's integer. If you say 3, that's integer. If you say 300, that's integer. But if you say 300.0, even if it is 0 at the back, once there is point, it is a float data type. Then if you want to check the data type of your data, you want to know the data type of your variable. So this is how you do it. 23, my number for 23. And I forgot to mention that this is called variable assignment. Like you are assigning a variable to a container. Like you ask this my number to save this 23 for you. This equal sign is called assignment operator. It's called assignment operator. It's not really working as an equal to, it's not working as a comparator, it's working as an assignment, like you are assigning the 23 to my number. Then I run my number. And I want to check the data type I have in my number. Just type number, my number. You can see int. Can we all see this? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah. You can see it.
Okay, that's integer. Then my number 2 is equal to 34.0. Then I want to check the type. My number 2. The type is what? Is float. We can see that. So the integer and float, both of them, they are numerical data type. The only difference between the two of them is the presence or absence of these decimal points. Do we get that?
Yeah.
Yes.
So after that, we have string data types. String data types are just the character data type. It can be a single character like A, B, C, D, E, F, or combination of characters, bag, goats, a paragraph, sentence, anything that is in character. But there is a way we can make our, for example, this 23 is an integer. There is a way we can convert it to string. String data type is my color equals to red. We can make use of single quotes or double quotes. We can make use of either single quotes or double quotes. These single quotes, red, it works. Then we can make use of double as well. Red. Then I want to check the data type for my color. Type red, type color. We can see str, which is a short form for string. Then it can be a letter equals to A. Then type letter. It's a string. It can be a sentence.
Hello?
Hello.
I think one of the students is complaining that you are too fast. Probably if you should look towards, I don't know, if the guy is still following or not.
Okay. The first one I did is just a word, R-E-D, red, then a character, an alphabet, A. Then here we have a sentence. My school is OAU. So we want to check the data type. Type school. You can see this is a string data type. Then the last one we have here. The last one we have here is the Boolean. Boolean is just true or false. True or false. There is a rule for this type of things. They are called keyword in Python. As you can see, if you start from the beginning, there are some of these things that are automatically in green. You can see this print is in green. You can see this type is in green. Then true or false. This or is also in green. The false is also in green. We call them keywords in Python. You cannot use them to name your variable. For example, I want to say type equals to 46, 56. It will give me error. Oh, it's actually go. Let me try print. Okay, the type is a method. Print equals to 56. This one works as well. But you cannot name your variable with a keyword. You can't name your variable with a keyword like or and. These things are known as keyword in Python. You cannot name your variable with them. So the next one is Boolean, where we have true or false. When you are writing the true or false, make sure the first letter is written in capital letter. True. It's not the same as true, and it's not the same as true. The three of them are different. The correct one is this, the one in green. This one is just like a variable name. The same thing is true. Python is a case sensitive language. The three of them will be treated separately. They are different. So to use the logic is just to check if a condition is true or false. For example, 4 greater than 6. Let me call it my condition. My condition is equals to 4 greater than 6. I want to check my condition if it is true or false. I will check the type. Okay, let me first call my condition. My condition is false because 4 is not greater than 3. 4 greater than 3 is equivalent to false. Then I want to check the type, the data type for my condition. Type my condition. Oh, I set type to 45 the other time. Yeah. So I'm restarting and run everything to clear what I've saved before. You can see the type now. The type is a Boolean data type. So you shouldn't name your variable with Python keywords. This is a Boolean data type. Then the first thing we talk about here is data type. Then we can now move to operators. If you want to run a cell, just click on the cell, press Shift, Enter. It will run and take you to the next line. If you want it to run and still stay on the line, press Control, Enter. It will run and still be there. Then if you want to change your cell from Markdown to code, you type Y, you press Y. Then if you want to change it back to Markdown, you press M. Without having to go to this place, change it to Markdown, change it to type. The operators, they are just the normal operators we have in like mathematical operator. We have the addition. You have the addition operator, subtraction operator. Let me do it with comma. This is division, multiplication. Then we have, is this modulo? Then we have floor division. What else do we have? These are the common one. The plus, the minus. I will change this to Markdown. Then we can to perform operator basic operation operation function in Python. Just type the 2 plus 3. Then Shift Enter. You have the results. 8 minus 3. You have the results. 6 multiplied by 4. You have the results. 90 divided by 5. You have the results. I think in Python, maybe Python 2 also, if you divide 90 by, in this Python 3, if you divide 90 by, if you perform this division operation, the output will always be a float data type. It will always be in float. There is a way you can make it. If you want it to be in integer, you can restrict. There's a kind of restriction you can do. Then we have the modulo operator. Modulo operator is remainder. For example, if we divide 7 by 3, is going to remain 1. Modulo will give us the remainder of the operation. 7 modulo 3. Modulo 3. That's it. It remains 1. And 12 modulo 5. That's going to remain 2. Yeah. And we have the last one here, which is the floor division. Floor division is that you don't care about whatever remain after the division. For example, you have 10, you want to divide it by, let's say, 3. When you divide 10 by 3, you are going to have 3. Like the floor division will be 3, it will remain 1. It doesn't care about the remaining 1. That's floor division. 78 divided by 2. I said already that most time I'm supposed to do floor division. So the remainder is 13. The floor division of 72 divided by 2 is 39. So those are the basic operators we have in Python. What's the next thing you want to talk about? Okay, local variable, multiple assignments, naming. Okay, we've talked about naming convention. You don't start with numbers. If you start with numbers, you are going to get an error like this. Where is it? Okay, you are going to get an error. For example, you say 1 score equals to 3. You are going to get an error here to go. Then you don't name your code with keywords, Python keyword. Then there are multiple assignments. For example, you can assign 3 things on a different line. Like you can assign 3 variables on a single line. For example, I say score, comma, class. I cannot use class. Let me use my class. My class. Then what else? My color. Then I use equals to. The first variable here is score. Then anything I enter as my first variable. My first variable name is score, followed by my class, followed by color. Any variable I enter first will be saved as my score. The next one will be saved as my class. Then the last one will be saved as my color. Then let's say my score, let's say 78. Then my class, let me say S3. Then my color, let's say green. The number of variable names you have here, tallies with the number of variable you provide. And you must separate each of them with a comma. You separate them by comma. You have comma here, you have comma here, you have. Then the same thing here. There's a comma here, there's a comma here. Then if I want to check my class, I can just say my class. My class. SS3. Then color. Then score. One more thing I can do, I can ask for everything on a single line. Score. See, each one of them is separated by a comma. That's multiple variable assignments. Then we talked about data type, the string data type, the float data type. We don't need to talk about complex. Complex is kind of complex. Then we have random variable. We will still get to the random variable stage. Let's try to talk about string data type. We've talked about integer and floats, and we perform a lot of like arithmetic operations on them. Then we'll be dealing with the string variable now. String. There are some operations we can carry out on string as well. We can carry out addition operation on string, but the only difference is the string will be concatenated together. We call it concatenation in Python. Instead of having 2 plus 2, it will be concatenated together. For example, I have 2 plus 2. These are integer value. I'm going to get 4. Then let me say I have bag plus school. Let me try to move this to the slide. Bag plus school. It's going to give me school bag. If I need to separate it with a space, then I will add another plus, then space. I put another plus there. So we have a space in between. This one, I've not put anything, like I've not even pressed my space bar. My space, I press it. This is a single space. I have the space in between. That's one of the functions, one of the operations we can carry out on Python strings. Then we talk about comments in Python. This is a line of code. If I want it to be in text, I'll change it to Markdown. Then there is a way I can write it. We call it comments. I want to comment out that part, and I have to start with hash. Then this line will not be in text. And I don't go to another cell, just on the same cell, but the second line on the same cell. Now I can now write any code I want. Okay, print this line will be printed. You can see it omits this line, then print this because I have comments here. We call this single line comments. We can also have multi-line comments, more than one line. Then you do that with three quotation mark. This is, then you put whatever you want to do in between the two. Okay, this is a function that returns the sum of two numbers. I want to define a function now. We call this doc string, like writing documentation about your code, what your code is doing, telling people about this, so like someone that is just accessing your code for this first time. Then I say def. Don't worry about this def keyword. We get there some defs add up. Then we're going to take in A plus B. Then on A plus B. Let me move the comments above. So this is my function now. I'm telling people that return the sum of two numbers. So I have 3 lines of comments now instead of this single line I have here. Yeah, I have 3 lines. So I'm telling people about my code, this code, that this is a function that returns the sum of two numbers. Then I have the function here. This is the code. Only this part will be executed. Everything from this place to this place will not be executed because they will be taken as comments, Python comments, multi-line comments. Then I'm telling people that, okay, this is a function that returns the sum of two numbers. What are the two numbers I'm adding up? I have A, I have B. Then it will return A plus B. Let me now check my function. Add up 90, 20. You see, we have 110. This is the addition of the two. So this is the function is working properly now. It's working fine now. Hello.
Yes.
Any question? Am I too fast?
Yeah, it's a lot of questions. So,
Yes,
I'm not
you are.
actually checking the chat box. You are not supposed to be
I
coding.
still
Just
just have one
try to
question
pay
though.
attention. Then we'll provide the video after the class. We'll practice on your own. You know,
I only have one
yes, sir.
question.
if everyone is coding along, there's going to be a lot of we'll be attending to a lot of people at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, someone asked, what does it mean to comment? To comment is just to exclude a part of your code, like you don't want it to run, to be executed as part of your code. Is that okay? Hello?
Probably the person is having issue with their mic.
Any other question, please?
No question for now.
Okay, someone is asking the single asterisk, this single naira sign and the double. Like if this first one, the single one and the double one are the same. Actually, only the first one will be taken into consideration. Any other one after it will be part of the text. Yes, will be part of the text. So only the first one is working. Is someone asking?
Hello. Can you please unmute yourself, Mr. Abdulwasi?
Thank you. Do you have any other question? I will try to go over this once again. So let me just try to go over it again. So how to writing your first program in Python. I talked about this, the hash sign is used to write comments. You don't want it to be executed as part of your program. Okay, maybe you use it to explain what the particular line of code is doing, the function of the code. That's the function of the comment. Okay, I want this. This program prints hello world. So if someone is seeing this now, we know okay. This is actually printing hello world. I'm telling the person about what my line of code is doing. Then I run the code. Then I have hello world here. Then I talk about variable. Variable is just any data type. We have different data types. We have string, float, integer, boolean. Then we have the variable name. Variable name is just like a container, somewhere you put your variable. Then anytime you need the variable, instead of you writing the variable again, you just go for the variable name. You type the variable name and it gives you your variable, the thing you've saved in it. Then there are some naming conventions. The first one, you don't start your name with a number. Yes, you don't start with a number. You can start with underscore. I don't think you can start with, let me try dollar sign. Yeah, you can't start with dollar sign as well. What about Naira? Okay, the Naira automatically is a comment, the hash. Then it's good to, when you are naming your variable, name me something it's something meaningful. Something meaningful, like if people say, okay, my score, okay, this person scored this so score. So you don't want to say, okay, my bag is 20. Okay, it is actually possible. Maybe you have 20 bags. Then you say my bag is equals to 56.9. This one, it's not looking good. Actually, it's an acceptable data type and naming convention, but to someone else reading this will be like, well, my bag is 56.9. What's the meaning of that? You can say my score. If you know it's possible for someone to score 56.9, then you can say my bag is green. My bag is equals to, you can say green. Yeah, you can say green. and score 36, score 56. Then we talk about data type. I said this integer and the float, the two of them are numeric data type. Numeric data simply numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to any number. But the major difference between the two, integer is whole number, like without decimal, while float is numeric with decimal. Point, it can be 0.0, point anything is float. Then we have string data type. String data type, they are characters, like it can be a single character, A, B, C, D. Then it can be sentence, it can be paragraph, it can be anything. Like how you know a string is you always put it in quotation mark. For example, if I have this 22, as you are looking at it, it is no more an integer, it's now a string. I can have 22 bag. Let me say number of bags equals to 22. Then I want to check the data type. Type number of bag. Oh, I wrote something else. I want to check the type of my the data type for my number of bags. Telling me it is a string. No more float because I have this quotation. I have it inside the quotation mark. The same thing with float. If I choose 22.9, then I run the cell, then I run the other one, it's going to be a string. So that's how we know a string, how we differentiate string from other data type. We have number of bag, then we have my number. The type of my number is integer, then the type of this is float. Then we have color red. The type for color red is string because it's in quotation. Then we have letter A, this is just a single alphabet. Then we have a sentence here. It is also string. This is the type. Then we have Boolean. Boolean is just true or false. So my condition is 4 greater than 6. Is 4 greater than 6? The output of this will be saved inside the condition, which is false. Then I call my condition, I see this false. Then I now try to check the data type, which is a Boolean data type. Then after that, we moved to operators in Python. These are the basics arithmetic operators. We have plus, minus, division, multiplication. We have modulo and floor division. Then 2 plus 3, we have the result here. We have the result. Then this is modulo, like the remainder from a division operation. 7 divided by 3 is going to remain 1. 12 divided by 5 is going to remain 2. Then we have the floor division. Floor division is that we don't want to see the remainder. Just tell us the plain value. For example, you divide 5 by 2. Normally, we out of the 5, it is 4 that goes like a 1. Then the same thing, 10 floor division 3 will be 3. Then 78 floor division 2, 29. Then we talked about multiple assignments. Multiple assignments whereby you assign more variables, like more than one variable to different variable names. You make sure you separate each one of them separate them by a comma. The same thing with the variable name of the variables. Then you can call each of them individually. My class, color, score, and then you can call them together. Score, color, my class. Then we have the string, school plus bag, then school bag. If you need space, try to put this empty string in between. Make sure you leave this space there. So that's it. Then we have the comment. You have the double multi-line comments. Then there are other operations we can perform on string. We can perform multiplication operation on string. Print and print back times 2. Who can tell us the output of the code? Can anyone tell us the output of the code?
Bag 2.
Bag multiplied by, bag normally is a string. If you multiply it by 2, what are we expecting? Like the likely output of the code?
Bag.
Bag without space or with space?
Without space.
Without space.
Let's check it out. So we have bag. Then if you want it 10 times, bag 10. So those are the two kind of operations we can perform on string. The addition operation, then the multiplication operation. The addition operation is going to merge it together, like concatenate. It will match the first one plus the second one plus the third one. Then the multiplication operator, it will go to print that particular string, the number of times that you input. For example, let's say bag times 100. We are going to have 100 bags. Bag without space. So for the Boolean, there are actually a lot of other things in Boolean other than true or false. We have 67 greater than or equals to 9. The output of this is true. Then 78 equals to 45. The output is this is assignment. So the difference between assignment and comparison operator, this is comparison operator. We are comparing the right side. We are comparing it to the left side. So it's 78 equals to 45 false. We are going to get false. It's part of the comparison operators. Then you want to check the case sensitiveness of Python, u equals to u. You want to check if the two of them are equal. You can see that they are not equal. They will be treated separately, like differently. Then let me change this one to capital Y. You can see this one is true, while the first one is false, because this one starts with a capital letter, this one starts with a small letter. So this is equal to this. This is comparison operator. We are comparing both sides of the equation. Then we can use greater than or equals to. We can use, and we can try to input more than one thing. 89 plus 89 greater than 90 or 78 less than 5. This kind of thing, it will be first, it will be divided into two. We have this side and this side. A kind of, let's say there is a parenthesis. And this side will firstly be treated. 89 greater than 90, that's false. Then we have or 78 less than 5, that's also false. So false or false? I'm going to give us false. We talk about this more later in the next class. I think we can stop here. The or sign is trying to compare both sides. And if any one of the two sides is true, if any one of the two statements, two conditions is true, then give us any of the condition. But the difference between this or and both conditions must be true. $90 less than, let me change this one to 90. 90 greater than 4, yes. So this one will give us true. This one will equal to false. True and false is false. We only get true when both conditions are true. Let me change it to greater than. That's the only time we get true, when both conditions are true. But or when any of the conditions is true, any of them. You can stop here for today. I believe
Please, could you repeat
understand
that? Sorry, I'm actually
you
lost.
understand something from the class.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank
Someone
you.
is asking question.
Okay, it's the one that is remaining.
You said
It's the
what?
one that is remaining.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Do you have any question?
I do. Please could you go back to the last part where you said that when both
Don't worry,
words-
we will talk about this in the next slide. We'll talk explicitly about it.
okay then.
This is
Thank
just
you.
like introduction to it. If there is no more question, we can just end the class for tonight.
All right.
I want to drop an attendance sheet.
All right, sir.
Is that same link we've been using actually? The board bit.ly something board.
Sir, I have a question, sir.
What's the question?
Yeah, on the notebook, so I'm able to type some of this thing. Will it go to save by itself or I have to save it?
It saves automatically. Auto saved. But this one, the last time
Okay.
it saved was 1 hour ago. So I should save this.
Okay.
By default, it saves automatically. You can see it here, it's auto save. You can see a few seconds ago. If you see that, oh, last time you saved about 1 hour ago. So before you close the notebook, then you make sure you press Ctrl S to save it.
All right, sir.
But by default, it should be saving as you are doing it. Then when you are done with the notebook, just come here, file, close, and you can close from this side too. Close and alt. If you close from this side, the notebook might still be running underground, but close and alt, this one will stop the thing. It will stop the kernel.
I'm not seeing your screen from here.
I stopped sharing it actually.
All right.
I'm coming. I want to drop the attendance sheet on the link.